Okay. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you.
Estoy aquí para informarles de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra.
To advise you of certain rights.
Para avisarle y informarle de ciertos derechos que tienen.
Set bail on those offenses that I am authorized to set bail.
Fijarles fianza por las acusaciones las cuales tengo la autorización de determinar la fianza.
To schedule a preliminary hearing.
Para programar su audiencia preliminar.
And to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
Y también para determinar si requiere el asesoramiento de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienen el derecho a permanecer callados sin decir nada.
But should you give up this right,
pero si eligen renunciar a ese derecho,
anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
Cualquier cosa que diga durante esta diligencia podría ser usado en su contra si el caso procede a juicio.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor no hablen de los hechos o detalles de su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta diligencia y las ulteriores tienen los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
El derecho a ser presuntos inocentes.
The right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies.
El derecho a una acusación formal emitido por la gran jurado cuando se trata de la mayoría de las acusaciones mayores.
Or by accusation for misdemeanors.
O que se procede contra usted por acusación general cuando se trata de infracciones menores.
The right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
The right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho a ver, a escuchar y a interrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf.
El derecho a obligar la presencia o la comparecencia de testigos para que declaren a su favor.
The right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense.
El derecho a dar testimonio en su propia defensa o presentar pruebas para su defensa.
The right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho a un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si no tiene los medios para contratar un abogado, se le puede designar uno de oficio si reúne los requisitos.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes serán permitidos depositar fianza sin restricciones para salir de la cárcel.
This bond may be cash, commercial, or property.
Se puede tramitar esa fianza depositando efectivo a través de una compañía comercial de fianzas o dando de garantía un inmueble.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán condiciones especiales con la fianza, las cuales prohíben que tengan contacto con ciertas personas o que vaya a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
También a usted se le prohibirá contactar a la víctima mientras está esperando en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial.
Si incumple las órdenes judiciales, su fianza puede quedar revocada y esperará en la cárcel hasta su juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
También se le podría formular cargos adicionales de mayor cuantía.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante saber que si una persona figura como la presunta víctima En su caso, a esta persona no se le permitirá pagar la fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se encuentran acusados de delitos los cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización de determinar su fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
Si este es el caso, entonces se programará una audiencia para determinar fianza ante un juez de la Sala Superior del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton. Y a usted se le informará de la fecha de la audiencia.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente está cumpliendo una condena condicional de libertad a prueba o libertad condicional, no puedo fijarle fianza.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si es apropiado y fijarle una fianza, en su caso, eso será bajo consideración una vez que el agente de probation ha tenido la oportunidad de considerar las circunstancias de su caso actual.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar es para determinar si existe suficiente prueba para sustentar las alegaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar de lo que se tiene que probar en esta etapa es muy poco.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine que el caso procede adelante, solamente tiene que determinar el juez que es posible que la persona cometió el delito.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen la habilidad de renunciar el derecho a la audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, debería consultar primero con un abogado si no está seguro si debería renunciar o no a la audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si deposita la fianza, entonces la audiencia preliminar quedará renunciada automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Usted recibirá notificación de la próxima cita judicial a la dirección que usted deja con el tribunal.
I now need everyone to raise their right hand so I can swear you in.
Ahora necesito que todos levanten la mano derecha para tomar su juramento.
Do you swear or affirm any testimony provided during this proceeding will be the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
Jura o afirma que el testimonio que proporcione durante esta audiencia será la verdad y toda la verdad.
Okay, I'm ready, Deputy Brown.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're gonna take the females first?
We have a lot. Ms. Tolles, what's your time looking like? Do you have to go over the preliminary hearings?
You wanna go and do?
I haven't been called for them as of yet, Your Honor.
Okay, let's do, what's this gentleman's name?
Give me your name.
¿Su nombre, señor? Perdón, señor, no le oigo. ¿Cuál es su nombre? For some reason, Your Honor, I cannot clearly hear the defendant.
I can't hear him either. Deputy Brown, would you try to, Deputy Knox has been turning the camera against the wall, and that allows them to get a little closer. Is it possible to do that?
Speak up.
Yes, hello.
Sí, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
There's some background noise. I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay. Were you able to understand him?
No. Otra vez, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre, perdón? It sounds as if the microphone is cutting out for some strange reason. Actually, I think I may have heard. Señor, dijo Daniel.
Daniel, correcto.
¿Y sus apellidos?
Erazo.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Daniel Erazo.
Okay. Mr. Arazo,
Yes, tell me.
you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is terroristic threats or acts, and the other one is an unlawful conduct during a 911 call.
Señor Erazo, usted tiene 2 acusaciones formuladas en su contra. La primera es amenazas terroristas o actos terroristas. Y la segunda es conducta ilícita durante una llamada de 911.
Sí, correcto.
That's correct.
I have set bond in this case, $5,000 for the terroristic threats or acts charge.
Ya determiné la fianza en su causa. Para la acusación de actos terroristas, la fianza es $5,000.
And I've set a bond of $2,500 for the unlawful conduct during a 911 call.
Y para la acusación de conducta ilícita durante una llamada de 911, la fianza es $2,500. Okay.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Piensa que sí va a poder depositar esa fianza, señor? If the interpreter may ask him to repeat. I'm sorry, Your Honor. ¿Cómo dijo?
En lo que sé que la policía me metió en un problema.
¿Cómo dice?
La policía me metió en este problema.
The police got me involved in this problem.
That's correct. The allegation was that you called a 911 line and threatened and made a threat that you wanted to kill police.
Correcto, señor. Se presume que usted llamó a la línea de 911 amenazando que quería matar a policías.
Sí, correcto, yo lo hice.
Yes, correct. I did that.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Mr. Durazo, I've set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th, 2001 at 8:30 a.m.
Lo que voy, señor Arazo, es que ya señalé la fecha de su audiencia preliminar. Será el 24 de febrero de 2001, salud, a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Do you believe you can post the bond in this case, sir?
¿Piensa que usted va a poder pagar la fianza, señor?
No creo.
I don't think so.
Okay. Deputy Brown, I don't see an attorney appointment form for Mr. Arazo.
Okay, Judge, you probably got about 4 or 5 that was either on loan or either turned over to another agency, probably about 5 or 10 minutes after I sent the first batch.
Okay. Mr. Arazo, would you like for me to make a determination as to whether you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Señor Arazo, ¿quisiera usted que yo determine si usted reúne requisitos para un abogado de oficio? Yes.
Okay. I am going to appoint a lawyer for you, but I'm going to have to track down the form. So you will be contacted by someone in the Clayton County Public Defender's Office.
Bueno, señor, entonces voy a nombrar un abogado para usted, pero primero necesito el formulario. Alguien de la Defensoría Pública del Condado de Clayton se comunicará con usted. Okay.
Do you have any other questions of me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta más para mí por el momento, señor?
Todo el dinero que tenía que pagarlo, no.
All of the money that you mentioned, will I have to pay that?
No, sir. You could use the services of a bonding company. The total bond is $7,500.
No, señor. Usted podría tramitar su fianza a través de una compañía de fianzas. La fianza total son $7,500.
If you use the services of a bonding company, you will have to pay a fee to that bonding company. I don't know what that fee will be, but it's generally about roughly 10% of the bond.
Si utiliza una compañía de fianzas, tendrá que pagarle a la compañía una tarifa. No sé exactamente cuánto sería, pero normalmente suele ser un 10% de lo que es la fianza total.
There's a list of approved bonding companies that the Sheriff's Department has, and you will need to call those companies to see what their fee they will charge.
Hay una lista de compañías de fianzas aprobados por el tribunal en la comisaría del sheriff. Entonces usted tendría que llamar a las compañías para ver cuál es la tarifa que le van a cobrar.
Any other questions, sir?
¿Alguna pregunta más, señor?
¿Cuándo voy a salir de acá?
When will I get out of here?
When you post a bond.
Cuando deposite la fianza.
Pues entonces mejor se me pega un puto tiro ahorita mismo. Pero la puta pantalla ahorita mismo.
The interpreter is going to have to ask him to repeat, Your Honor. I'm sorry. ¿Cómo dice, señor?
Maten ahorita mismo.
Let me out right now.
I've given you a bond. You will be able to get out today if you can post that bond today.
Ya determiné su fianza, señor, así que podría salir de la cárcel hoy mismo si puede depositar la fianza hoy.
No, no puedo. Qué puto dinero.
Now I can't. It's a lot of money.
Mr. Razzo, at this stage, my duties are to determine if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I've given you a lawyer to advise you of the charges and to set bond.
Señor, en esta etapa, mis obligaciones son determinar si usted cualifica, si reúne requisitos para un abogado, para determinar su fianza, y ya le concedí un abogado.
Pues sí, lo único que te puedo decir en esta puta corte es que me usaron para agarrar la puta información y ahora tengo que pagar una puta fianza por los putos policías. Ese es el
What I'm
puto...
saying is, they used me, the fucking police used me to get the fucking information, and now they are requiring me to pay a fucking bond.
All right, that's enough. Let's go.
This is a bunch of shit.
That's enough. We don't have enough, Judge. He
There
understands.
you go, Mr. Razzo.
Let's go.
Se puede retirar, señor.
Nobody's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Listen to the judge.
Nah, you kill me right now.
Come on.
No.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come over here. Let's go. Come on. Come over here. Or you get hurt, son. Your dad's gonna get hurt, boy.
Mr. Pham,
Get some cover.
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I am doing well. I'm gonna try to see if we can do Mr.
Nguyen, right?
Yes. If we can do him next so we can get you moved on. Ms. Tolles, it looks like that was all that we needed.
Okay,
so
Your
we're
Honor.
free to go.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
He hadn't called yet.
Where did he come from?
Look on
Where's the
calendar.
other?
It's right here. That's not Sanchez. That's Nundy.
You ready, Judge?
Yes. Can you bring Mr. Nguyen?
Mr. Nguyen. Is that the
That's the person who we need the interpreter for.
Okay, Judge. Come on out. Come on. Come on, Wayne. Come on. I'm right here.
How you doing, sir?
Hold on, he'll talk to you in a second, okay? Gotta try to adjust this thing.
How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Nguyen.
Good morning. Good New Year.
Chào Ngọc.
We have an interpreter here for you.
Rồi có thông dịch viên của Ngọc đây nè.
Ok, nói. Chú có nói có chuyện gì của hôm này xảy ra chứ?
Dạ.
Chuyện này hôm xảy ra sao chú? Nói con biết rồi.
I'm going to read something to you, Mr. Nguyen, and then I'm going to tell you about your charges.
Đúng.
Bây giờ tôi sẽ đọc những cái lời này rồi tôi sẽ báo cho anh biết là ông bị tố tụng về cái tội gì nha.
This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Đây là cái sự xuất hiện lần đầu tiên của ông mà ở trước cái tòa này.
My name is Brad Gardner and I'm a judge in this court.
Tên tôi là Brad Gardner, tôi là chánh án trong cái vụ này nha.
I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
Tôi ở đây hôm nay là tôi không có phải là để mà phân xử cái kê của anh đâu, tôi chỉ nghe cái lần sơ thẩm thôi.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you.
Thành thử hôm nay là tôi sẽ nói cho biết là anh bị buộc cái tội gì nè.
To advise you of certain rights.
Rồi tôi sẽ cho anh biết anh có những cái quyền hạn gì.
To set bail on those offenses that I am authorized to set bail.
Rồi xong rồi tôi sẽ cho anh biết là cái số tiền mà để chuộc ra tại ngoại hầu tra, ok, cái tiền bail đó.
To schedule a preliminary hearing.
Thành rồi tới cái ngày mà đi ra sơ thẩm.
And to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
Rồi tôi coi là anh có cần phải có cái sự giúp đỡ của luật sư không?
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Thành thử hôm nay là ông Ngọc á, là có quyền im lặng, không cần phải nói gì hết.
But should you give up this right?
Thành thử là nếu mà trường hợp mà ông bỏ cái quyền mà im lặng này á,
anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
Là những cái gì đó này nếu mà nói ra đó là những cái lời nói đó, có thể là sẽ dùng để mà công tố ông trong những cái sự án kỳ tới.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Thành thử là ok, ông đừng có nói gì hết nha chưa? Ông đừng có nói về cái sự thật về cái kê của ông.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Thành thử trong cái này là ông có những cái quyền hạn này nè.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
Thứ nhất là ông là được cái quyền là ông vô tội.
The right to indictment by a grand jury for most felony.
Rồi ông có quyền là có thể là đi để mà công tố bởi đại thẩm.
or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Rồi hoặc là có thể là tiểu thẩm.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial.
Rồi trong cái kê của ông là ông được quyền là mình mang ra xử nhanh.
The right to see, hear and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Rồi khi mà đi ra tòa đó thì ông có thể là kêu nhân chứng ra để mà giúp đỡ ông.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf.
Rồi ông có quyền là yêu cầu những cái nhân chứng ra để mà giúp đỡ ông, để mà giúp ông chống án.
The right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Rồi nếu mà trường hợp mà ông được quyền để mà ông tự bào chữa lấy.
The right to have an attorney represent you.
Rồi có quyền để mà kiếm một luật sư để mà bào chữa cho mình.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Nếu mà trường hợp mà ông không có khả năng mướn luật sư thì tòa sẽ cung cấp cho một luật sư công.
Yeah, I know.
I have set a bond in this case at $5,000.
Thành từ cái kê của anh đó là cái tiền mà chuộc ra là 5.000 đồng.
I'm sorry, actually it's $5,500 total.
Tổng cộng là 5.500 đồng để mà có tiền để chuộc đi ra khỏi tù.
You can post that bond either by cash, by commercial bonding company, or by property.
Ông có thể có 5.500 đồng tiền mặt bỏ vô cũng được, hoặc là không đó có thể sử dụng những cái công ty mà nó cho mình mượn tiền để mà bond ra.
If you choose to post the bond by cash, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office.
Nếu mà trường hợp mà ông có tiền mặt á, thì những người bạn hoặc là những người thân nhân á, thì phải mang cái số tiền mặt đó tới văn phòng của Sheriff Department á, để mà đóng thì mới được ra.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of your case.
Cái tiền đó là Sheriff Office đó, người ta chỉ giữ đó cho tới khi nào mà cái kê của ông á là đi đến cái kết thúc thì người ta sẽ trả lại tiền cho ông.
If you use a commercial bonding company,
nếu mà ông dùng cái công ty tư á, bonding á,
someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Rồi mình thì dùng cái đó thì mình phải trả cái lợi phí cho nó.
The fee will not be returned.
Cái lệ phí đó là mất luôn, tại vì là mình sẽ đóng tiền cho cái công ty thì công ty nó giữ cái đó luôn.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based on a percentage of the bond.
Thường đó là tôi không biết là bao nhiêu, nhưng mà thường đó là người ta tính theo cái tỷ lệ, cái phần trăm của cái bond thôi.
Finally, if you use property to post your bond,
nếu mà trường hợp mà dùng tài sản nhà cửa để mà thấy vô cái bond đó,
the property will need to have a net equity in an amount equal to 3 times the total bond amount.
Thì cái tài sản đó phải có giá trị bằng cái số tiền mà 5.500 đó.
I have placed a special condition on your bond.
Về về vấn đề cái bond của ông ấy, tôi có đặt một cái điều kiện đặc biệt.
And the special condition is to stay away from quack ho.
Thành thử là cái điều kiện mà ra bond đó là khi mà ông bond ra ngoài đó, ông phải không được gần quốc Âu.
You will also be prohibited from contacting quack ho while you're in jail.
Rồi trong lúc mà trong tù đó là ông cũng không có được liên lạc với lại cái anh mà quốc Hồ đó.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked.
Nếu mà trường hợp mà tái phạm cái luật của tòa đó, thì cái bond của ông sẽ bị mất.
And you could remain in jail until your trial.
Rồi ông sẽ phải ở trong tù cho tới khi nào mà chờ nằm đi ra để mà phân xử thôi.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Rồi ông có thể là bị công tố thêm, tố tụng, bị công tố thêm những cái đại hình đó.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Rồi cái thứ nhất nữa là những cái người mà nạn nhân của ông á, là không có được mà bỏ tiền ra để mà bond ông ra.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
Cái mục đích của sơ thẩm là để coi thôi, coi cái vụ mà cái bản án có xảy ra trong cái ngày đó không.
The standard at this stage is very low.
Thành ngữ và cái standard đó, những cái điều khoản ở trong cái sơ thẩm rất là thấp.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Rồi cái lúc đó là chánh án á, lúc đó là ông thẩm phán á, chủ tòa đó là để coi là cái người ta chỉ phân xét coi là cái vụ đó có xảy ra không thôi. Nếu mà có thì người ta sẽ chuyển lên cái tòa khác để phân xử.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Thì ai cũng có, nếu mà không muốn ra cái tòa sơ thẩm thì có quyền bỏ cũng được, không cần ra.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Nhưng mà cái quyết định đó là trước khi mà ông bỏ cái tòa đó, ông nên nói chuyện với là luật sư của ông để tư vấn coi sao nha.
If you post your bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Rồi nếu mà trường hợp mà ông mà được chuộc ra đó thì là ông không có cần phải đi ra cái tòa sơ thẩm đó.
Mr. Nguyen, do you believe you can post this bond?
Ông Ngọc, ông nghĩ là ông có tiền để mà chuộc ông ra không?
Trong chính phủ.
Hả?
Ở trong chính phủ Whitty City.
Yeah.
Thành phố Whitty.
Whitty City.
Yeah. My son.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Nguyen. He doesn't make any sense, Judge.
Yeah, Judge.
Ngọc có tiền để mà để mà chuộc ra khỏi tù không?
Tôi cần người tới để nói chuyện với tòa để lấy tiền ở trong nhà thờ đó.
Well, I need someone to talk to me, so I try to get the money from the judge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Need you. Everybody need you. Everybody. Not only me. I need that night ready. I eat something to eat and smoking ready. $25 ready. All money gone. I don't know where they are.
Mr. Nguyen, would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you in this case?
Anh Ngọc ơi, cháu có muốn ông có muốn tôi cho một cái luật sư để mà tư vấn không? Để giúp ông? Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, Mr. Nguyen.
Rồi tôi cho một luật sư để giúp ông nha.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date in your case for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning.
Rồi cái ngày 14 tây tháng 2 đó là 8 giờ sáng đó là ông sẽ được ra tòa phân xử.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
If you don't have any other questions, you are free to go back.
Rồi nếu mà thôi bây giờ ông không có câu hỏi thì giờ em Ngọc đi ha. No, he doesn't have any question, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pham.
You're welcome.
You are free to go if you don't have anything.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, Deputy Brown, I'm ready for the ladies.
All right. Are you going to go in alphabetical order, or you just want them to call out their name to you?
Alphabetical order if possible. That's how I got it arranged.
Sign up, y'all. I need Bryant first. Bryant. Come to the podium.
Your name.
Clark.
Miss Bryant?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. You've been charged with 3 offenses. Driver with expired license or no plates or decals. The bond is going to be set at $500 for that. You've also been charged with driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set for that charge at $1,500. And you've also been charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act by possessing THC edibles. And I set a bond for $1,500 for that. That brings a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date in this case, and it's going to be set for February 24th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
You're going to hire your own lawyer? Okay. If you don't have any other questions of me, then you're free to go back.
Would I be able to use a bondsman with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
My name is Niall Clark.
Okay, Ms. Clark, you've been charged with 4 offenses. 1 is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I've set a bond at $2,000 for that charge. You've also been charged with violation of the license plate requirement or having an invalid license plate on the car. I set a bond at $500 for that. The no insurance charge, the bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. And I have it written as misrepresentation of tag. And I believe that's, they're claiming that there is a different tag on the car. And the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. So that brings a total bond of $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Will I be able to get a bail bondsman also?
Yes, ma'am. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I'm gonna try to get my own.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions of me, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Tell me your name.
My name is Ariel Fox.
Okay. I'm sorry, say that again?
Ariel Fox.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Fox, you've been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and theft by receiving property out of the state, which is a firearm. I'm not setting bond on these charges at this point. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
My attorney, Ms. Rockwell, was supposed to be present at this.
Your attorney is who?
Ms. Rockwell?
Okay. Give me 1 second. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
Yes, I do. Is my attorney not present, or what's going on? Because I was told that I would just have to, that my attorney would be on the screen when I was on the screen.
I don't know, ma'am.
Okay. So as far as me not having a bond, I will have to stay in here until February 24th.
No. Tell your attorney that you didn't get a bond set today. Your attorney will be able to contact the district attorney's office and they can work something out.
At any day?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have no further questions.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Taylor Folds.
Ms. Foles, you've been charged with 1 count of armed robbery, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, 1 count of financial transaction card theft, and 1 count of theft by taking. I cannot set bond at this stage on the armed robbery charge. So I'm setting no bond on all of the charges so that it can be handled at the same time. Would you like for me to determine if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Stay in line, straight forward. Run around, straight forward.
Okay, ma'am, it looks like you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. I've also set a preliminary hearing date in your case for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am? Okay, you're free to go back. Ms. Gibson, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated stalking. I'm not setting a bond on that charge at this point. Would you like for me to determine whether you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, it will.
It looks like you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning.
I have to stay here till February 24th.
No, ma'am. Your lawyer can contact the district attorney's office and they may be able to work something out.
If I have court next week, how does that work?
If you're still in here, they will transport you to court. Is it in Clayton County? I'm sorry? They will, well, it's not transport. They're actually doing the same thing in all of the courts with having the Zoom hearings. So that's most likely what's going to happen.
If the accusations are false, what do I need to do?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
The accusations that are for the aggravated stalking, they are false, what do I need to do?
All I understood was aggravated stalking.
Okay, it's a temporary order, and she lied and called the police and said she told me something that I did January 1st, and I had proof and video. I was no January 1st.
Do you have a lawyer on the TPO case?
No, they gave it to me December the 3rd, and I haven't had any contact with her in any type of way.
Okay, you need to contact her. What's the lawyer's name?
I don't have one because I haven't. We go to court February the 9th for the TPO.
Okay.
I don't have a restraining order.
Hmm. So so I can be clear, are you saying that a lawyer was appointed, but you've not spoken to the lawyer? Or no lawyer was appointed?
No lawyer was appointed because we go to court for the TPO on February the 9th, and the victim called and she made false accusation about me contacting her, and I have not contacted her. I was at school and the police came to pick me up because they said they had to because of the TPO. But we haven't been to court for that yet.
Okay. Do you have someone that could get that information to the police?
Yeah.
You should. Well, I'm filling out this form for you to have a lawyer appointed on this aggravated stalking charge. If you have the proof that you were not the person making these phone calls or the person contacting this victim, that needs to be turned over to the police. And it looks like it was an officer Deese, D-E-E-S-E, that came to swear out this warrant for your arrest. Or if you can speak to the lawyer to get that. Because if this was a false accusation, that can be dealt with. But at this stage, you're not going to get a bond because of the allegation. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, that's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mary Martin.
Ms. Martin, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I actually just got a job and I was supposed to start it today. I was gonna see if I would be able to get an OR bond.
Chief Judge Keisha Wright-Keel has a policy of not giving OR bonds, so I cannot give you an OR bond. You can use a bonding company to post this bond.
I don't have any money. My mom lives in Florida and I don't know if she could post the bond for me. My husband passed away, so I don't have money.
Okay.
So,
do you want, well, it looks like you qualify for the appointment of an attorney. I can appoint an attorney to represent you. Would you like for me to do that?
I don't know. What does that mean? Like right now?
Well, this paperwork goes over to their office today, so they'll know that you've been appointed today.
So can I, like, I can probably try to post the bond, but if I wasn't able to, would I get an attorney?
I'm sorry, if you weren't able to, would you what?
I don't understand. Like, why you asking me about an attorney? To see if I
Would you speak up a little bit more? I can barely understand you.
I might can try to post that $300 bond today through the bondsman. I can ask my mom, but
You you will be provided a list of the bonding companies that have been approved by the sheriff, and you can contact them. Some bonding companies, they put you on a payment plan. So you just have to call them and see what they're going to charge and what they're willing to do.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. I'll try.
Now, I didn't understand your response about, give me 1 second. Okay, I didn't understand your response when I asked if you wanted me to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
A lawyer to represent me right now.
Not during this hearing, but.
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
Okay, so what happens based upon this affidavit or the application that you filled out, you would qualify to have a lawyer represent you on these charges until your case is resolved. You can hire your own lawyer if you want, or you can represent yourself. At this stage, if you want the assistance of a lawyer and you qualify, my job is to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
So that will be for the case, that not this bond hearing, that will be.
Right, the whole case.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a paid attorney that I use for, but if my mom can't get it, I didn't know if.
Okay, well, you can always hire your own lawyer. What I don't want you to do is to be in a situation where you say you don't want the lawyer and then you need a lawyer. You're going to have to go through another process of having a lawyer appointed. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I can take a lawyer.
You said you can take what? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you.
You have to speak up.
I mean, yes.
Okay, you want me to appoint a lawyer?
What day will the court be? Yes.
Right now, I can set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th. That doesn't mean that your case has to sit until that time. If you had a lawyer, that lawyer can contact the solicitor's office, the state court, the prosecutor that'll be handling your case, and they may be able to work your case out before it even gets to that point. But if you bond out, this date that I can set will be automatically waived and you'll get another date sometime in the future.
Okay, so February 16th.
Yes.
I put it on today and it will be pushed back further. It will not be on February 16th that I have the case to be reviewed.
That's correct.
Okay.
Is that it?
So I'm going to set the date for February 16th, and I'm going to appoint a lawyer. If you don't have any more questions, you're free to go back.
Can I use you said I can't use the bail bondsman?
Yes, you can.
That would be right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, how you doing?
Good morning. Are you Miss Travis?
Yes, sir.
Miss Travis, you've been charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. One is a brake light violation. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. The next charge is driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that, for a total bond of $2,000. So you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes. For that, because I had a failure to appear, they said that I had a cash bond for $3,000 yesterday when I made it in. That's why they brought me in saying I had a warrant. And I was saying that, like, that was, I have documents. I was in the hospital giving birth when I had to go to court. And then I also emailed Clayton County, and I didn't know because I was in between DeKalb County and Clayton County, so I emailed both of them. And the judges got back with me. I also have that, stating that they didn't have the citation numbers and I didn't have a warrant. So I thought everything was good until I got pulled over yesterday, which I drive a lot because I'm a hospice traveling nurse.
Okay.
I was not aware of the warrant or nothing like that. So that's what it kind of threw me off. And they were saying something about a cash, but like, you know, like I was a flight.
That is probably related to the failure to appear.
Yes, that's why. And I submitted the doc. I don't understand why. All my medical work, everything is submitted.
What you're gonna have to do, ma'am, is get that paperwork and get this removed. It looks like you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Did you have a lawyer on the other case?
No, I didn't really. I didn't like when it was time for me to go. When I was pulled over, I was literally like 8 months pregnant.
Okay.
And from then on, you know, I had a tumor with the pregnancy. I was hospitalized until I had the baby. So, you know, I wasn't able, when I got out, I started to take care of the business, you know, email, send over the paperwork, and that's what came back to me. So I was saying, you know, thank you, Jesus, God, and worked it out and all of this. And then I get pulled over yesterday. And that's what happened.
So what's going to happen is that's going to have to be removed by whomever put it on. So just so you know, when your license is suspended for failure to appear, whatever court that is that said that you didn't show up, those are the people that are going to have to say, oh, she showed up, or it was our mistake, or it was excused. So whomever you were supposed to go before, that's the paperwork that you need to take to them so that they get this taken off.
Okay, so basically, it's still set that $3,000. In order for me to get out, I have to pay a $3,000 cash bond. No bond.
Your bond here is $2,000. I don't know where this $3,000 is listed. I don't have access to that.
Okay.
If there's a warrant for your arrest, generally, if they're saying $3,000, that's what they're saying is what they would call the purge.
Yeah, Clayton County, Jonesboro.
Okay, so Jonesboro would be the agency that has to fix this.
So you guys can't do nothing with it?
Not on that. Okay. Just, I mean, and it happens. I mean, there are mistakes that happen all the time. There are things that are entered wrong. Happens all the time. But Clayton County, if Jonesboro is the people that said you failed to appear, there's nothing Clayton County can do about that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So
any other question? Oh, did you want me to appoint a lawyer for you?
No.
Did you say no?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. If you don't have any other questions, ma'am, you're free to go back.
2,000 the bun, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Antoinette Williams.
Good morning, Ms. Williams. You've been charged with battery, and I'm setting the bond at $3,000 for that. I'm also setting a stay away condition for Chadrick Jones. I think Mr. Jones was also arrested. Is that correct?
I believe so, sir. Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So he's going to have the same condition to stay away from you. That can change. But at this point, because of what's written here on the arrest warrant about a fight taking place, I want to make sure that you guys are not putting each other in danger.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe. Oh, never mind. Yes, Your Honor. I would like to see if I qualify for it.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer. Do you believe you can post that $3,000 bond? Okay. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
At the moment, is that an automatic bail set for that type of charge?
No, it's something that I do have some discretion on, but for these types of offenses, we generally start at that level.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, thank you. Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
you're free to go back, ma'am.
Tasha Wilson.
Okay, give me 1 second, Ms. Wilson. All right, Ms. Wilson, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is battery and one is criminal trespass. I'm dismissing the battery charge because the officer did not name the victim. And without a named victim, I can't sustain that charge. It doesn't mean that this can't be brought back later because it really is just a technical issue. And so if the officer believes that it should come back, it'll come back. For the criminal trespass, I set a bond at $3,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
What if I told you that was false information? Because we went to the hospital together because she was having heart problems the day before. I took a lift up to Lithonia, and the day before I took a lift up to Lithonia. Then the night after that night I told her let's just go home because they wasn't seeing her at the hospital. We went home the next day. That day that I got locked up, we went out there to go get her. She said that she could go back to work, and I stayed in the car because I know she was gonna be in there for a long time. So I didn't understand how I got public trespassing because I went up there with her in her car, and I was sleeping in the back seat.
The criminal trespass in Georgia, it can be that crime can be committed in 2 ways. One, you can be someplace that you were told not to be. The other way it could be committed is by either depriving someone of their property by either breaking it or cutting it or somehow making it not operable. And the allegation in this case is that the victim's eyeglasses broke. So that's where the criminal trespass charge comes from.
Oh yeah, they broke on their own in Walmart, and I taped them up. I taped them up inside of Walmart. We got the glue and everything out of Walmart, and she went back to my house. My nephew was holding her. I mean, she was holding my nephew, my nephew snatched her glasses off. The side of her glasses scratched the side of her face. And she had like a little scar on the side. And I guess inside of the hospital, I'm not sure. I was asleep in the car. She must have had sat up there and was rubbing her face or woosah like she usually do. And hurt her face, made the swelling get a little worse, I guess. I'm not sure. But I didn't break her glasses. Cameras. Oh.
What I could do, ma'am, is I can appoint a lawyer to represent you. And that lawyer, you need to tell that to the lawyer. So the lawyer can discuss that with the solicitor's office, the prosecutor's office. But I can't try your case right now.
I wasn't saying that. I was just telling you what happened.
Okay. You have any other questions for me, ma'am?
No, that's it, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge, that's gonna be it for the females.
Okay.
Let me know who you need next.
Mr. Bennett.
Mr. Bennett, yes, sir. Burgess? Get in front of the TV, sir, so you can see you.
Good.
Right there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bennett. Sir, you've been charged with 5 offenses. The first is use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. The second charge is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that.
I thought it was only 2, so I'm sorry, y'all.
What's your name, sir?
Carlton Bennett.
Okay, Mr. Bennett, I have 2 forms with 5 total charges.
I was told there were only 2.
Well, there's a alteration of a tag. The bond is $500 for that. Driving on a suspended license, the bond is $1,500 for that. And what I think maybe is causing the confusion, these drug charges are coming after they said they inventoried your vehicle, meaning searched your vehicle.
Stand up. Mm-hmm.
So were you originally told you're just going to be charged with the suspended license and the tag?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
So that's what it appears happened.
So what's the total of that?
All right, total bond is going to be $7,500.
Okay, I can find out.
Okay. I also set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 24th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me a second, I have to find your form.
See, and in the tag thing, it wasn't my car. It's actually my own. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify, Mr. Bennett. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any more questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next. That's a friend of mine to give the judge your name, okay?
Mr. Burgess?
Yes, sir.
You've been charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of marijuana more than an ounce, which is a felony in Georgia. I've set your bond at $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
I've also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to make a determination as to whether you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Right now, sir, they can walk on the hand behind the back and they'll open that door and take off, okay?
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Burgess. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's your question?
Will I get to call the lawyer or what? Like, how far as the lawyer go for me to call my lawyer? Because my lawyer called up here for me yesterday, but he said you guys told him I had to wait to see you, wait till I see you. So now I'm trying to figure out when will I be able to reach him to where the bond goes, as far as the bond goes.
So you already have a lawyer?
My father called one for me, but the lawyer, they was told that I had to wait till I get to court. So now that I've been in court and you gave me a bond, will I be able to reach my lawyer so I can get out now or what?
Yes, but now if you already have a lawyer, I can't appoint a lawyer for you.
I don't have a lawyer. I just called one to try to represent me just in case because I wasn't aware.
Okay. Well, what your first call really should be to a bonding company or to someone that can post the bond for you.
So
does that make sense?
I do get a chance to pay the 10 or the 15% is what you're saying with the bail bondsman.
Right. You can contact the bail bondsman and they'll tell you how much they need. Okay. Any other questions?
Sure.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing today, Cedric Chatterton?
Mr. Chatterton, you've been charged with 2 offenses, and both of these are set by schedule, meaning they're automatically set. So the driving on a suspended license charge, the bond is set at $1,500 for that. And the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is also set at $1,500 for a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir, I hope so.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chatterton, I can set a preliminary hearing date for you. You can waive that preliminary hearing date. I can set it, or you can wait to talk to a lawyer to determine whether you want to waive it or not. However, you should know that if you bond out, that date will be automatically waived. So do you want me to set this date or do you want to waive it? What do you want to do?
I mean, either way it goes, it's going to be waived if I find out, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can go ahead and set it just in case you know anything does happen.
Okay.
And I also wanted to add one question if it was possible.
Yes, sir.
I know they said we're in orientation and we will not be allowed phone calls, but I do need one phone call to call the person who's going to bond me out.
They're going to let you use a phone. We don't dictate to them when they go through that process. My understanding is generally after you've been through this first appearance situation, that you pretty soon after, when you get back down and everything gets settled, you'll be allowed to use a phone.
Okay, no problem at all. I surely appreciate you.
Do you want me to make a determination as to whether you qualify for a lawyer?
Yes, sir. You said if it gets waived, I wouldn't even need the lawyer at all, right?
The lawyer would be there for the rest of the case. Excuse me, the rest of the case.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay, no problem.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Not at all. You did say 3,000 set gone, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all I need.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Step up, sir. Let's go. Give your name. You know you come from.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hi. What's your name, sir?
What's your name?
You're Mr. Durham?
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Durham, you've been charged with 1 count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. I've set the bond for both of those at $1,500 for a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry.
Would you?
And for the birth date and all of that stuff, I gave all of that correct when I got talked to the officer. All of that was correct. The only thing that was wrong was the O and the A, because I put the O where the A supposed to be in there. That was the only thing that was wrong with the name. And the date for the court date, I was wondering could I get it a little closer, because I work a job and stuff for the city that I work at the state.
So that preliminary hearing date, it'll get waived automatically once you bond out, and you'll receive at some point in time another court date. It'll be sometime in the future.
But if I'm sorry.
No, if I appoint a lawyer to represent you, or you hire your own lawyer, the lawyer can work on getting your case resolved before any court date. My understanding is that they're trying to move as quickly as possible because of the situations with this virus to try to resolve as many cases as they can. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also going to set that preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And as I indicated before, if you bond out, as that date is going to get waived. Do you have any other questions for me?
And so with both of the charges together, it's 3,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Flanders? Mr. Flanders, you've been charged with driving a vehicle with no license and giving a false name, address, or date of birth. I've set the bond for both of those offenses at $1,000. So the total bond will be $2,000. Do you believe you can post that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
You're going to hire your own lawyer?
I can bond out, right?
Yes, sir.
Bond out.
Okay. I'm going to set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. But as I indicated before, if you bond out, that date is going to be automatically waived, and you'll receive in the mail another court date. Okay.
So you telling me that on February the 16th, I got to come to court, right?
If you bond out, that date is going to be waived, so you don't have to come. And right now, everything is being done over computers like this. If you are not able to bond out, you will be you will have that hearing.
And how you law?
Thank you.
All right. Now, you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
All right, you're free to go back.
Come up. Tell the judge your name.
Yes, sir. Michael Jackson.
Okay, give me 1 second, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you've been charged with 3 offenses: driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Improper lane change, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. And DUI, alcohol less safe, and I've set a bond at $5,000 for that. Give me 1 second. This light, automatic light cuts out. Okay, so you have a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. You said $7,000?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I can post it.
Okay. I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 a.m. But if you bond out, that date is going to automatically be waived. Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm on SSI, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, face the wall, sir. Fill the wall there. Hey, Judge, give me 1 quick second.
Sure.
I got you, man. Right on, yeah. All right, Judge, we got one in the wheelchair, okay?
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Chadrick Jones.
Chadrick Jones.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I set the bond at the same amount that I set for Ms. Williams, which is $3,000. I'm also putting a stay away condition on your bond to stay away from Ms. Williams. I put a stay away condition on her bond to stay away from you. That can change, but I'm not going to change it right now. I don't want a situation, as I explained to her, from at least what I read, I don't want you guys in the same space until at least somebody has been able to speak to both of you, or you both have lawyers. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Jones, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. But if you bond out, that date is going to be automatically waived. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir? So make sure you speak to your lawyer about the fact that both of you have stay away conditions on your bond and about the circumstances of your case. Because this looks like something where the 2 of you may not have been acting at your best. But I don't want this to be a situation where this becomes a continuing thing. Do you understand? Okay, do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
Well, they took, that's always an answer. It says that because of this. That's where.
Step up, sir, give me your name.
No, I was saying.
Eric Jones.
Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is speeding. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. And the second offense is driving on a suspended or revoked license. The bond is also automatically set at $1,500 for a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Sir, I can.
Oh, no, this was when.
I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. But if you bond out, that date is going to automatically be waived. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer? Do you want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer, or are you going to represent yourself?
Do you see if I qualify for a lawyer, sir?
How much money do you earn per month?
About $1,300.
Okay, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, step up, give me your name, sir.
Jerome McGriff.
Okay, Mr. McGriff. You've been charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, false imprisonment, financial transaction card theft, and theft by taking. Because I can't set a bond on the armed robbery, I didn't set a bond on the other offenses, so that whatever judge who may eventually set a bond will deal with all of this at the same time. I put you on the same preliminary hearing date as your co-defendant, and that is going to be February 24th at 8:30 a.m. And it's going to be held over Zoom, the same way that these hearings are being held. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. And who did I allegedly rob? Or
the allegation in the warrants were that you and Miss Foles, basically Miss Foles was alleged to be a prostitute. And there was a person who indicated that they wanted to use her services and met at some hotel room. And there was a gentleman that was alleged to have come out of the back and made the other gentleman strip naked, where then they held a gun on him and took his items. According to the warrant, you were identified either through your cell phone. Well, one of the indications was that the cell phone that was used came back to you. So they alleged that you were the person that was holding the gun. So those are the allegations. And as I said before, at this stage, I'm not here to determine whether this is true or false. I'm here to determine whether a bond can be set. And at this stage, because of the armed robbery charge, I cannot set a bond. But I can appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, Mr. McGriff, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next person, please. Step up and give your judge your name. And
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is Dion Perry.
How are you doing, Mr. Perry?
Yeah.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass by damage to property. The allegation was that you supposedly slashed 2 tires of Miss Winter of a 1998 black Dodge Durango. Set the bond at $3,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You do qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date of February 16th. And if you bond out, that date is going to automatically be waived. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
next.
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is Bakar Reed.
Excuse me. How are you, Mr. Reed?
Good.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. I've set a bond at $3,000 for that. And I've also put a stay away condition on your bond to stay away from Robert Reed. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer? Do you want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer, or are you going to represent yourself?
I'm gonna represent myself.
Okay. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th.
Yes, sir.
At 8:30 a.m. If you post your bond, that date is going to be automatically waived. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Next step up. Tell your name.
Hey, hi, Judge. My name is Jamari Richardson.
Hi, what's your name, sir?
My name is Jamari Richardson. Jamari Richardson.
Okay. Mr. Richardson, you've been charged with fleeing from a police officer, improper lane change, theft by receiving motor vehicle, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and looks like this is a license violation. Yeah, driving with no license. So the fleeing from a police officer, that bond is automatically set at $1,050. The improper lane change, I've set that, well, that bond is also automatically set at $500. The theft by receiving stolen property, motor vehicle, I've set the bond at $20,000 for that. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, bond is automatically set at $1,500. And the no license, that bond is automatically set at $1,000. So that brings your total bond $24,050. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Can you tell me the percentage of that?
I can't tell you exactly, but you're gonna have to contact a bonding company. My guess would be it'll be around $2,000. I don't know. You're gonna have to contact the bonding companies, tell them what you've been charged with, and they'll tell you what fee they're gonna charge. would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be courtroom 201, but it's also going to be over Zoom like this is today.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Richardson?
Did you see my mom in there?
I'm sorry?
I was asking, did you see my mom in there?
No, I can't see anyone except for the people that I'm talking to, but this is being streamed live on YouTube.
Thank you.
Okay.
Come on up, sir. Give the judge your name. We're gonna go out of order on this one because I got one in medical.
Okay.
Will be the last one.
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is Barry Smith.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Sir, you've been charged with 3 offenses. Speeding, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. You've been charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of marijuana more than an ounce. The bond is set at $5,000 for that. And possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. And I set the bond at $2,500 for that. So that brings a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 201. But again, that's going to be over the computer system the way that it is now. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer? You want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer or, I'm sorry?
Qualify.
Okay. How much do you make per month? Oh, you don't have a job, I'm sorry. You do qualify, Mr. Smith, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Come on. Oh, man, come on. Step on up, sir. You the judge your name.
Hi, my name is Corey Allen Whipple. How you doing today, Mr.?
I'm doing well, Mr. Whipple. Were you scheduled to come on Monday?
Came a couple days earlier, but they had sent me out. I got into like an argument in one of the holding cells.
Okay. Deputy Brown.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a WAA for Mr. Whipple unless it is in the paperwork from Monday. I know you weren't here on Monday.
Was it? Mr. Whipple, did you sign any paperwork today?
I made a little paper.
Yeah, he filled out a document, Judge.
I just signed my name because everything else didn't have.
Didn't you write something on the back of it?
No.
You didn't write anything on the back?
I don't know. It didn't really have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no children, not married or nothing.
So, Mr. Whipple, your bond has been automatically set at $1,500. What I'm going to do is track down this paperwork, but I'm going to set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th. And you filled out this form, but do you have a job, Mr. Whipple?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify based upon this form, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. But I'm also going to have to track down your WAA, so you don't have to stay here for that. So he can go back, Deputy Brown, but I'm going to have to find that paperwork.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So what's my my charge for?
Criminal trespass.
All right.
Mr. Whipple, let me ask you this question. Are you currently, do you have other charges? Do you have other charges in the jail other than this?
Now that I came on against today? No.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, Mr. Whipple, just so we're not sitting here looking around, I'm giving you this information about the appointment of a lawyer and about the bond, and I'm going to have to find, there's something, it's called a warrant, basically. I'm going to have to find that. But I like I said, I do believe I remember you and Mr. Rogoff from Monday's calendar. So I'm just going to have to go pull that. But that's not something that you have to stand here and wait for. Okay? Okay.
You good? All right, sir. Step up again, Judge. Now put your hand along.
Hey, Your Honor, how you doing? D'Angelo Young.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, sir. Jacory, Jacorry Allen Whipple, Whipple. Oh. Yes, and the other person is Mr. Rogoff, Rogoff, first name Aaron, Aaron. Thank you. I'm sorry, sir. Tell me your name.
Hey, D'Angelo Young.
Would you say that again, sir? I'm sorry.
D'Angelo Young, Your Honor.
D'Angelo Young?
Sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Young, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is burglary and one is criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I've set a bond on the burglary charge at $10,000. I've also set a bond on the criminal damage in the 2nd degree at $3,000 for a total bond of $13,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes. No, I don't got a job. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm appointing this lawyer, but I also have set a preliminary hearing date for you. And that's going to be February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. And although it says courtroom 201, it's going to be over the computer, the way that we're doing today. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Yeah, Mr. Right up here next. Yeah, I know, man. You know, hold on, sir.
Aaron Rogoff.
Mr. Ragoff, were you scheduled to be here on Monday also?
So yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ragoff, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property and 1 count of impersonating an officer. I also don't have the warrant on this. I'm going to set a bond at $5,000 on impersonating an officer. That's going to be a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I mean, you have a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date, February 24th at 8:30 a.m.
No, you don't. You got no photo.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Ragoff?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. What's the deal? I'm on my head today. My judge told me.
All right, Judge, that was the last one.
No, that's what they told me on my head.
What about Mr. Sanchez?
Sanchez?
That thing was Jefferson.
Hold on.
Said I had court today, bro. What the hell wrong with you?
I knocked you the fuck out. You don't talk to me like that. What's wrong with you? Just get that wall. Come here, run your mouth. Shut up. Get up against the wall. Get out of here. And go where you came from. I know. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Judge Sanchez out on bond.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that, Judge.
No problem.
I just had to wander in and I'm sorry.
No problem. That's it for today, right?
That's it, Judge.
Okay, thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you.